Hey guys, K87 here and welcome back to another video. Today, we're going to be checking out the GamaKay, or previously known as Womier K87 mechanical gaming keyboard. And so just before we get started, whenever I reach 1,000 subs, I'm going to be doing another giveaway, so if you haven't already, do subscribe if you want to make that possible. And with that out of the way, let this review commence. Starting off with basic design, the GamaKay K87 is a 10 keyless or TKL mechanical gaming keyboard. It features a fully translucent frosted acrylic top plate and a base constructed with the same material. There's actually 3 layers of this held together by screws, so it's pretty durable. It has a floating switch design for easier cleaning of the keyboard, and no dedicated media keys are present, but they are accessible via the FN key. The indicators for caps and scroll lock are built right into the RGB LED themselves, so they would turn white once they're on and go back to whatever lighting effect was initially displaying when turned off. The cable on the K87 is a detachable white rubber gold-plated USB-C to USB-A one that measures in at 1.8 meters or about 5 feet 11 inches. It's quite thin, though I'd prefer a braided one. Flipping the board over to its underside, there's 4 small circles made out of what seems to be silicone that keeps it from sliding around on your desk. You can even see the KO hot swap sockets on the PCB because this is a hot swap keyboard, but I'll get into that later on in this video. As for accessories, the K87 has a small plastic keycap puller, a metal switch puller, and a brush to clean the top plate underneath the keycaps. Pretty neat if you ask me. Mashing down on the keys, there's barely any flex whatsoever, which is definitely nice, but chances are no one types like that, so there won't be any flexing if you treat this keyboard nicely. As for technical aspects, it has full N-key rollover and anti-ghosting, 32 kilobytes of onboard memory for storing macros and such, as well as 3 different profiles, 16.8 million color RGB lighting, as well as software support. Holding FN in Windows for 3 seconds will activate Windows lock mode. Hitting FN plus comma and period will decrease and increase your system volume respectively. FN plus F6 pauses whatever you're watching or whatever music you're listening to. FN plus F7 goes to the previous track, while FN plus F8 goes to the next track. FN plus up and down arrow keys will increase and decrease the brightness of the LEDs respectively. FN plus left arrow will change direction for dynamic effects, and FN plus right arrow will change the color. FN plus left control will change the underglow lighting at the perimeter of the keyboard. Holding FN plus backspace for 3 seconds resets the keyboard to its factory settings. And now I'll show you guys all the 18 RGB lighting effects. The keycaps on the GamaKay K87 are made out of a white double-shot ABS plastic. They have a nice simple font and the secondary characters are illuminated, though there are no indicators for media control. They also come in a standard bottom row layout, so you can use pretty much any other keycap set there is without having to worry about losing media control since there were none to begin with. I do wish it had stock PBT keycaps instead because it would justify the price even more, which I'll get to later. The stabilizers are a typical plate mount cherry stabs and are quite rattly. There's a good bit of mushy feeling to them too, but that can be solved by simply popping them out and looping and clipping them. Like I've said earlier, the K87 is a hot swap keyboard using KO's hot swap sockets, which is probably one of the main selling points. The board can support both plate mount, which are 3-pin, and PCB mount, which are 5-pin switches, and unlike our Temu hot swap sockets, these can support any MX style switch on the market. So yes, you can throw in holy pandas on this keyboard. Speaking of switches, this keyboard uses Gaterons with many options to choose from. You can pick this up in either Gateron blue, brown, red, black, as well as yellow switches, which is what I have in my unit. Gateron yellows are linears and are known as butter on a budget due to how inexpensive and smooth they feel, hence why I picked them up. They have an actuation force of 50 grams with a 65 gram bottom out and an actuation point of 2 millimeters with a total switch travel of 4 millimeters. And now I'll do a sound test of these Gateron yellow switches. Moving over to software, you can mess with the RGB lighting effects such as brightness, speed, or direction, configure the 3 different profiles, as well as program and record macros. Pretty much just like any other keyboard software, nothing too special. Now for pricing, the K87 comes in at $80, which you can pick up at a site called Banggood. Nothing malicious, I promise. Featuring fully hot swap switches that can support even PCB mount switches, many accessories in its box, 16.8 million color RGB lighting with underglow that adds even more flair. It's essentially the perfect bridge between a gamer keyboard and a custom keyboard, so a pretty fair price in my opinion. Link in the description if you're interested in checking this keyboard out. Moving over to pros and cons as well as my final verdict. For pros, I really enjoy the fact that the K87 can accommodate nearly any switch that can be purchased due to them using KO's universal hot swap sockets and allowing for the use of PCB mount switches. Next up is the detachable cable. It makes it easy for if I want to bring this keyboard on the go, and I can also use a custom cable on it to add some personalization. For all you RGB lovers, it's super vibrant and stands out even more with the underglow surrounding the keyboard itself. Paired with the white keycaps and 3-layer acrylic case, it adds some extra pop to it compared to if those were a darker color. It can also be picked up with 5 different switch options, so people who like clicky, tactile, and especially linear switches will enjoy it. Lastly, I appreciate the inclusion of many accessories in the box, especially the brush, since not all mainstream brands out there do this, and it's nice to see smaller companies include them at a much more reasonable price. As for cons, I'd prefer if the included cable were braided because it will make it much more durable and less prone to break. Another thing I was a bit disappointed about is how mediocre the stabilizers are. Given that I can mod them due to the hot swap capabilities of the K87, I would at least like to see less rattle at a price point of $80. Even the Techwear Phantom 87, which costs $46, has less rattly stabs than this. Lastly, a minor nitpick would be that I wish the keyboard included PBT keycaps instead of ABS. ABS tends to shine faster than PBT over time and is also less durable. So again, at its price point, I would find more value in this keyboard if PBT keycaps were included. But at least the ABS is double shot rather than laser etched single shot. So to wrap it up in a nutshell, would I recommend the GamaKay K87? The answer is definitely a yes. For those looking to building a custom keyboard but don't have enough money, this is a great board to pick up to test out some switches and see how else you can customize it. The hot swap functionality is easy to use, the inclusion of a detachable cable is great, it's got so many switch options to choose from and many more, all for a price of $80. Although it's definitely not a perfect keyboard, but it offers amazing value compared to similarly priced options. Anyway, that'll be it for my review of the GamaKay K87. If you liked this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up to show your support, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and ring the notification bell so you won't miss out on any of my future uploads. Feel free to follow me on Instagram at K87 Official, as well as join my Discord server where more giveaways will be happening in the future. I'm K87, and I'll see y'all next time.